let's start the show out, like with the way we always do with the introductions, because we feel the need to. Landon, assistant director.
Ooh, you started with me this time.
Jack of all trades, other beer guy besides myself who knows stuff. Drogseth, robot.
Muppet, too.
Oh, he's also a man Muppet. He's a robot Muppet.
A robot, I'm a bionic Muppet sent from the future to drink beer.
And then to tell the story.
To tell the story, yes.
Andy's our Facebook social media guy thing, because I don't understand Facebook. Jake, he does camera, editing, the looks.
Lots of creative stuff.
The best looking guy.
Makes things pretty.
Puts a good face out there for us.
Andy invented the internet. I don't know.
That's what he keeps telling us.
Andy invented the internet and Jake made it look good.
Yeah.
Fair call.
Stephanie, because it's a joke, we're going to keep going, is still a girl. And she does it quite well. What do you got?
This is Piper.
That's Piper.
She's a bitch.
She looks adorable.
She's a friendly dog.
That Alex dropped on the floor once.
Tell me.
I think Alex is letting her join because he feels bad because he dropped her on her face from full standing height.
It was an accident.
Because robots don't know how to
Can I have
catch.
shark tooth, please?
They don't understand animal emotions.
It's Sharp Tooth.
Have you ever
seen Land Before Time?
This is Shark Tooth. The name of this is Shark Tooth.
It's Sharp
Tooth.
What? I thought it was Shark Tooth. because
Teeth
it's a
are sharp.
Anyway.
Anywho, today we are discussing Pearl Street. Pearl Street is the last installment of the first six-pack. So we can all do a conversation after this about the first six-pack and our opinions of it and whatnot. And also we are drinking the Pearl Street Pale Ale because it's the only one I could find at the store down the street. I am sorry to our audience. I am lazy. I'm not going to drive 10 minutes across town.
Agreed.
Yeah. Back to Pearl Street.
2 paws up.
Pearl Street's located in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and that's where Alex is from.
Yay.
So, Alex, why don't you kind of tell us about the Pearl Street a little bit?
Well, it's nice. They started out in a bar in the basement of the bar on Pearl Street. And then they eventually wanted to expand, so they moved to an old shoe factory in town, which is really a quite neat setting to go visit. There's a few different levels that they're on as well that they'll take you around in the tour, and a lot of good beer in their tap room. And La Crosse is a fun town. They got like nice views from the river. You can see the Cass Street Bridge, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by Pearl Street because, like, up in Eau Claire, you don't get much Pearl Street, you know? Like, there's kind of that divide between Eau Claire and La Crosse. And I've only ever seen their Downtown Brown and their Pale Ale, and I liked them. That's all I ever saw, so I just assumed that's what they had. And when we got to the brewery, this is the first brewery, the first six-pack we went to that I actually had not been to prior to us shooting. So I was kind of like, didn't know what I was expected either. But not only did they have more than just the 2 beers, they had a lot of really good beer. And they've also been there since like 97 or something like that, which blew my mind because I didn't realize they'd been around that long. They were part of the first, or the second wave of craft breweries. I mean, so if you want to say Valkyrie is part of the first wave, that's probably the only brewery we've been to that was in the first wave, and the second wave would have been, only brewery in the second wave would have been Pearl Street. Otherwise, everyone else is kind of like, I call it the third wave. But once again, there's someone typing at home, you are wrong about everything.
I don't know if you can find a way.
They're the 4th wave.
For all
That'd be my
those
favorite thing ever.
brewery bloggers out there.
Yeah.
Please
Somebody at
send your
home
letters
is-
of complaint to Andy@taproomtravelers.com.
Andy's our social media guy, so he will field everything that I say wrong. So needless to say, I think building-wise, it might be one of the cooler breweries wherein, like, a lot of the breweries are, like, whatever buildings that they've managed to make really cool because of, like, just nice interior decorations and stuff like that. But this place is actually a really cool building, and the inside is just old. It feels old.
Old factory, shoe factory, right?
Yeah, and that was what was fun. Like one of the people that worked at the old factory was there just to show her family the place. And what's nice is if you go on a tour at Pearl Street, they'll give you a little coupon that you can take to most of those bars and get a free glass of beer from Pearl Street.
That's actually really interesting.
It's really interesting, yeah, and it's
I'm glad you told us that.
You can go anywhere in town. Well, we didn't go on the tour though. We didn't get a thing.
No, yeah.
No, we just
Well,
talked
we
to the brewmaster.
right.
kind of went on the tour.
Well, we went on our
We
own
stalked
special.
the tour.
We had better than a tour.
I mean, like
we
the
didn't get to
voyeurs
go
of
on to
tour.
the other
Okay,
levels,
ever,
though, which
oh,
would've
Wisconsin.
been
Tour. It's not a tour. It's a tour.
Tour?
A tour?
A tour?
Tour?
No,
The
I
hell's
think
a tour?
you're thinking of Thor.
It's not a tour.
We're in the Midwest, lady.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
not.
tour.
It's a
Yeah.
tour.
It's a tour.
It's a tour.
It's a tour.
Localize
No,
yourself.
it's a tour.
No.
You're in the minority on this one.
Yeah.
You just
I don't
have
know.
to deal
I
with
don't
it.
know what a tour
Please
is.
add in the comment section how to pronounce
Tour.
So about the tap room, I think it comes back to what we were talking about with American Sky. When you go to Pearl Street, that's where you find all of their experimental fun beers. So I mean, they kind of, their philosophy is that their top beers, their flagship, like they have to sell well, they have to be mass market to go in bottles. So if you really want to do the cool stuff, you have to go to the tap room, and they have an awesome double IPA.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
The
Didn't
double
try it.
IPA
That's
is to
right.
Stephanie at Pearl Street as the dogfight is to Andy at
You got pretty
American
drunk off
Sky.
of that one?
I had 2.5 and
They will.
I only had one. It was really good.
but it was so good. It was so citrusy and light. It didn't have like a really heavy alcohol finish. It was trouble. It was trouble waiting to
You
happen.
had all the viewers at home.
little
You're
more.
trying to keep track of Stephanie's drinking. If it's a citrusy IPA, that's all she drinks. I mean, there is no other
I
beer.
drink other beer.
What's what?
It's fairly boozy,
Name
too.
one. Yeah, she drinks citrusy
why I like
IPAs, hands down, nothing
Hey,
else.
IPAs are amazing. Landon can agree with me on that.
I don't like sweet
Boy, I'll
IPAs.
take you outside.
Make you
Butcher
spill
him like a chicken.
What, your head in no funnel?
Nice callback.
So ultimately with Pearl Street, I enjoyed it. I was actually a hidden surprise for me. I wasn't expecting much or anything at all. I had no idea what Pearl Street was about before I went there. Like I said, it was the only brewery I had not visited prior to shooting. And I loved it. It was a great brewery, amazing beer. The guy, the brewers and everyone there were super friendly, super kind. The building was cool. I have nothing but, 5 travelers out of 5.
They all get to go out of the basement.
Still 6. I'm one person.
But
Six
it's a
travelers.
rating system. I mean,
Troy also can count, along with spelling. Counting is.
I understand hops and that's it.
Yeah, that's all.
And malt and yeast. Fermentation temperature. No, okay.
I disagree.
You know nothing. But yeah, let's just kind of get our vibes on Pearl Street. Like I said, it was a surprise for me. One there, not knowing anything, end up becoming a humongous fan. Stephanie.
It was a hop forward brewery. Their flagship beers for me are good. They're solid beers, but I felt a lot more strongly about the beers that they had in the tap room. I wish that I had better access to those beers because those were the ones that really kind of got me going.
Truckseth. The man from lacrosse himself. Alex
I enjoyed
Truckseth.
it. Went there for a bachelor party one time. We had a good time. Went on the tour. They have great tours. They show you all kinds of stuff. How do you pronounce tours?
Or
Tour.
You're not from the east, so just pronounce it however you want.
So they had great Thors. And it was very enjoyable.
Another.
And I love the beer.
Landon.
I was really surprised where it was located, and not that I know a whole heap about lacrosse, but I mean, I thought we were going into some residential area, and all of a sudden there's this big shoe factory, and I'm going, is that it? And then I see Alex, in the parking lot. I'm going, huh? Well, this should be interesting.
Alex is always in the parking lot. In fact, you
Well,
drive
right,
there any time of day, any time of the week, he's in the parking lot.
Yep.
But when you're talking about the beer, I think really when you go into the tap room, they have something for everybody, and like you said, super nice people, and you're very welcome
beards.
there, and great beards. Who can't appreciate a great beard,
I
right?
feel intimidated by all those beards.
Andy.
Double IPA was amazing.
The Hefeweizen was also really good too.
I didn't try that one.
Knox.
Enough of a hot punch to satisfy IPA nuts like your wife here, but enough of the boozy and the malty flavors to satisfy other people as well.
Everyone
Alcoholics.
Yeah.
Jake.
Well, I think I compare lacrosse to Eau Claire a lot because they're similar in population, and I think that I could see, I equate what Pearl Street has done, and I look at it in Eau Claire, and I think this place would be extremely successful based off of the the location that it's at. I think they took something and they made it into something a lot bigger than even what the city is even capable of, maybe for a population that size. So I think that's very admirable and something that the people from La Crosse can kind of attach themselves to.
They're probably the biggest brewery we've done. Like I can't remember.
Well, by
Barrel-
far,
Production.
yeah.
Yeah,
Belfry
production.
was a big building too, but this one's big.
No, like production wise.
Oh,
Production-wise,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, production-wise. And
American Sky was
It was
pretty
3
close.
stories.
I'd say American Sky
It
was
was
close
3 of
because I
them.
think I can't remember what the barrel size of American Sky was. I think they're around 7-ish. I'm pretty sure Pearl Street is the largest production brewery we've done. Okay, guys, I'd like to thank you all for helping us with the first 6-pack, and I think we all had a fun time doing it. I hope everyone enjoyed watching them. My suggestion to you is hop on a plane, train, or automobile, get here, find these breweries, and drink at them. Special thanks to Pearl Street for being our last episode for the first season. We went on a high note, I'd like to think. They were a fantastic brewery, great beer, it's great beer.
absolutely.
So, to Pearl Street,
Pearl Street?
Pearl Street.
Pearl Street.
the
The
beer
first
things.
6-pack.
Yes.
Next 6-pack.